Zyuohger Episode 2 begins with Tusk, Zyuo Elephant, not trusting Zyuo Ego before walking away. It establishes him as the skeptic trope of Zyuohgers. As a skeptic, though, I don't understand why Tusk would believe Yamato's story, although maybe he's just lying. He does prove himself in the fight, though he did that last time too. Then again, Uncle doesn't believe Yamato's story, although Tusk doesn't know this. Fight-wise, his feet are strong and he has a sensitive nose. I don't know if that goes with his character, but it's interesting. Maybe give it a couple more episodes. Joe Tiger likes fruit drinks. The character revealed to be Joe Uncle is my favorite. The comedic timing is way better than Joe Shark Dex. And the fact that he makes animal-like objects is very interesting and adds to his character. Oh boy, a human shark turning into a shark, wanting to swim in a fountain, showing her fin. I think you've been watching too much Sharknado, Japan. I think you underestimated. Maybe they just watched that Amazon clip in Mass Rider and thought that's what we need in Kamen Rider and Japanese tokusatsu. Oh boy. It's very Z movie-ish. It can really deter people from a show, especially Americans. But I don't think Judd is going to adapt that anyway. As much as the scene where they go to the mall is a bit annoying, I wonder whether they explore the characters well, which I underestimated with Go Buster and Geki Ranger. Though being annoying and making that inaccessible and accessible doesn't work compared to making it critically acclaimed and making it accessible as well. On to part 2. Brief summary of the dark themes, Dobotsu Sentai Zyuohger Episode 2. Using the Zoomen or anyone as a slave or a pet. Zyuo Lion is basically a Japanese Battle Kenya. A Japanese person basically in blackface, sort of. Also, one of them is fed to try and reason with them, to sort of domesticate them, which I think is interesting. I don't know if they'll go into it, and I don't know who the writer is or who the crew is, but it's something that could be explored, which could be interesting in later episodes. There's no hints in episode 1, it's too early to notice, but we'll see. It's interesting because despite it being a light-themed Sentai, there's some dark stuff to it. You have the aliens invading the Zoomen and the humans, and one of the humans treats the Zoomen sort of as a lesser being, sort of. Even if it was for comedic effect, to sort of brush it off. I think it's interesting. Hopefully it'll be explored later. They did before with Yasuko Kabayashi in Reisha Sentai Tokyuger. We'll see if any of that's explored in this Sentai. Also, it would be cool if the animal train Tokyuger showed up in Dobotsu Sentai Zyuohger, but I'll explore that in another video. I keep coming up with more stuff to say, sorry. It's even more interesting that Zero Ego puts a leash on the other Zyuohgers, because another eagle, Zoomin, gave him powers, making it even more ironic. That shows you that you can never know, like, giving powers to someone would end up with a good result or not, which is always a risk. And that's dark. I like that. The powers and special effects for the text are memorable. I think they're trying to pull a Hurricane, and while not on that level, are enjoyable. The monster is pretty much irrelevant for a storyline that's, while not terrible, I don't really care for. It's cool one of the enemies is named Naria, trying to not say Narnia, which is what it references. Zyuo King is definitely parallel to how the bad dudes greed, with Zyuo King consisting of 4 animals. Also, the aliens referred to their fight as a game, channeling that of Battle Royale. They're both having fun. It's like, hard to say, like, use coins to buy stuff, possibly like games. Also, I'll get into something else later. Like, it's basically like when they resurrect the enemies is basically like giving an extra life in arcade. I think the combination of 5C3 for all you stat fans out there with the combinations is going to hold up for a while. Maybe they'll introduce another zoom in as well. Also, Zyuohger might stay on the top, even though they might be saving a time when he doesn't lead Zyuo King for a while. I'm predicting now maybe in the second half they'll introduce the anniversary Sentient Riders, but we'll see. Next episode there'll be Amu Yamato shipping. At least it's not Shark Decks. Also, let's not forget the tail fetishes. Needs more Blues Brothers. Come on, let's go and shake that tail